to that. Thank you.
Mr. President. Excuse me. Mr. President, my name is Joy Robinson, and I will be attending Hollins College to study political science. What advice can you give a young high school student who's hoping to pursue a career in politics and possibly seeking the presidency? By the way, I'm a Republican.
Well, I want to encourage you. Let me just say that about this, it's a thing of, first of all, you want it not just for the job. You want to be sure that there are things that you believe deeply in and that you would like to try and see are done for the betterment of our nation and the people. And then I think I would suggest that first of all you get involved in helping in politics. Your local or county headquarters, when election year comes along, volunteer to help, to go door to door to do all the things that need to be done in an election. And in that way, you learn where it is that you think would be the best way for you to start. Now, there are two ways of going to the government. There is that, running for office, and then seeking the next opportunity to go up. The other is not the elective process, but to look at the career possibilities in government, of becoming a government employee. And many times that also then leads to elective office. But the opportunities are there, but as I say, you must want inside of you to do things for the public good, not just say, oh, that looks like a nice job, I'll try that. So I think you'll do it the right way. And as I say, your postgraduate course can be volunteering and helping. And thus you get acquainted and you understand how the process works, and you get acquainted with the people that would help you get elected to an office. And it also helps if pretty soon, instead of you having to volunteer, somebody comes to you and says, you ought to run for, and then you grudgingly give in.
Thank you, Mr. President.
You bet.
Mr. President, I'm Rob Boyce, principal at John A. Holmes High School, and we do not have time for any more questions, but if you would permit me, I would like to make a presentation.
Well, be my guest. Thank you.
On behalf of our school and all the schools we represent in this country, I want to thank you for calling the nation's attention.
That concludes our coverage of
things happening in American education. We are honored to have taken part in this memorable and unprecedented
by
event.
Maryland ITV
Sir,
for the Sika Center for Instructional Communications.
President of our Student Council, with two tokens of our appreciation. First is a hand-painted China teapot, a symbol of our town, depicting an historical event in 1774.
Bob West and photographer Brian Eagleman were with the seniors as they marched into the Rose Garden at the White House.
They were unruffled after a long bus ride. The Edenton School was chosen because of its outstanding improvement in academic achievement. These seniors represented 14 million high school students around the country who heard the president's address by satellite.
You are a special generation, and you're facing special challenges. And the biggest is to be ready for a future that will prove to be demanding and exciting.
After the president's remarks, the Edenton seniors had 20 minutes for the questions they had so carefully gone over yesterday. Martha Felton asked about farming.
We have to get farming back into the marketplace instead of under the government regulations and subsidies and programs that we've had for the last 50-odd years.
Class President Laura Bond asked about the graduates' chances in the workforce.
Today, we have the highest percentage of that sum total workforce employed ever in our history, 110 million people working, and in the last 40 months, we have created 10 million new jobs.
Laura presented the president with a symbolic Edenton teapot and a football jersey. He said he would try out. Afterwards, the seniors were relieved, but still excited.
I'll remember this day more than anything, probably.
Why?
Well, it's just not every day you get to come and visit the White House as a guest of the president.
A real estate company late today confirmed to WTKR News report that it is
videos from Billy Ocean. John
In the United States, 145 students from John A. Holmes High School in Eaton, North Carolina will remember their graduation as the ultimate. Ceremonies at the White House with the President of the United States as the commencement speaker.
The President of the United States.
Thank you all, and welcome to the White House, and thank you for coming. I want to congratulate all of you from John A. Holmes High School in Edenton, North Carolina, on your great achievements this year and on your upcoming graduation. And a special greeting to Rob Boyce, the principal of this fine school.
Not only did the students have their commencement address given by the President of the United States, they also addressed questions to President Reagan, which range from financial status of the American farmers to tips on how to run for the presidency and when.
Mr. President, my name is Martha Felton, and in the spring I plan to attend Chowan College to study journalism. My question is, first of all, we've seen, all of us, the special and news reports concerning the financial status of the American farmer. And I was wondering, could you explain to us what you think the future holds for the family farmer?
Yes, for one thing, we have to get farming back into the marketplace instead of under the government regulations and subsidies and programs that we've had for the last 50-odd years.
My name is Sandra Roundtree, and I'll be attending North Carolina Central University this fall to have a major in computer science. Most of us are getting ready to start paying Social Security. Do you think we will be able to receive it when we retire?
As far as we can see now, Social Security is on a sound financial basis as far as we can see.
Mr. President, my name is Robert Keeter, and I'll be attending East Carolina University next year. I would like to know, what do you feel has been your greatest achievement as president?
Many of us are planning to continue our education and go on to be doctors, lawyers, engineers. However, very few, if any of us, are planning to become teachers. Does this concern you?
Mr. President, what do you recommend to my generation? What steps do you recommend that we take to avert the possibility of a future nuclear war?
Mr. President, my name is Laura Bond. I will be attending North Carolina A&T State University to major in industrial engineering. As high school seniors, many of us will soon be seeking employment. What do you feel is the employment status for us next year?
I have to say the prospects are good, because while we still show, say, a 7% unemployment rate, that is based on considering everyone, male and female, in the United States between the ages of 16 and 65 as the potential workforce. Today, we have the highest percentage of that sum total workforce employed.
What advice can you give a young high school student who's hoping to pursue a career in politics and possibly seeking the presidency? By the way, I'm a Republican.
Well, I want to encourage you. Let me just say that about this, it's a thing of, first of all, you want it not just for the job. You want to be sure that there are things that you believe deeply in and that you would like to try and see are done for the betterment of our nation and the people.
And were the students excited about making history with their graduation class?
Feels great. I really enjoyed it.
Any surprises?
Not really. It was just, like they said it was going to be. He'd come out and he gave his speech, and then he answered a couple questions.
Okay.
Well, it was quite an honor. I don't know, it was just very exciting.
Our special thanks to reporter Bob West and photographer Brian Engelman for this story. Next is Device and a new music video on the scene after